So welcome back to day 3 of my week-long of lives. This week I'm sharing a whole bunch of projects using some products from this catalogue. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Kayla and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Tasmania in Australia. I usually go live once a week on Saturdays to share a weekly project with a PDF that is free to download on my blog. If you want to check out the past ones or download any of those PDFs, the link will be down below somewhere or in the video description. And if you watch every week, thanks for coming along. Thanks for supporting me and chatting with me. I love chatting to you. Now, this video today is pre-recorded, as have the other videos this week. They've all been pre-recorded. And that's simply because I go live generally in the evening and I have an 11-year-old and it can get a bit chaotic. So I generally record them while he's at school. I have thought about going live while he's at school, but we'll see how that all goes. Generally, I like to get my chores and my household stuff done during the day and then do more of my relaxing or admin quiet things of a night time. So yeah, anyway, the Sale-a-Bration promotion is amazing. It only happens once a year with Stampin' Up! In January and February, and it ends this Friday. So if you haven't seen Sale-a-Bration before, basically it's a promotion where you get free goodies that cannot be purchased. They're exclusive to this promotion, and you get a free one with a qualifying order. Now, I'm based in Australia. You can shop with me if you're in Australia. And you get the qualifying purchase, or the qualifying order is $100. So you can choose a free product for every $100 you spend. There's a couple other things that happened during Sale-a-Bration, and I'll just pop them up. So we did have some new products get added to Sale-a-Bration in February. These are products above and beyond what is in the catalogue, and they're ones that we actually have for sale, but they've been added as Sale-a-Bration options. So some of those are amazing. I know that the alphabet, I think maybe the kit and the trusty tool dies have sold out, so they're no longer an option, and that's going to happen because we're coming to the end of this promotion, so things are not going to get restocked. So if you have a product that's in Sale-a-Bration that you love, I suggest you grab it while you can, because things are selling out. The other thing that happens during Sale-a-Bration is an amazing joining offer. So if you're in Australia and you would like to know more about joining my Golden Scissor Craft Club team, let me know and I can send all that info to you. Otherwise, you can hit the link in the video description. You don't have to sell, host parties, teach cards or anything like that. You can join and get the discount on your craft products. That is completely an option. At the moment, it's an amazing time to join because not only do you get to choose whatever product goes in your kit, but you also get 2 free packets of Stampin' Wrap markers of the colour families of your choice and an exclusive stamp set. Now that is still the same joining price, it's $169, but you get to choose $235 worth of product for whatever you like. So that's $66 in free product plus free postage. So you're getting an amazing deal. If you don't want the Stampin' Wrap markers and the stamp set, you can choose option 2, which will give you an extra $51 retail of products that you like. So there's a couple of amazing offers at the moment. Whatever time you choose to join Stampin' Up, it's an amazing offer because not only do you get free product in your kit, you get free postage, plus you get 20% off any future orders. So it's an amazing reason to join, and I have a beautiful team and you're most welcome to join. I'm happy to support you in your crafty journey. So other than that, I've got my February host codes. If you choose to purchase anything through me, pop this host code in when you're ordering, and that will get you a free gift, tutorial and handmade card from me. And this is the tutorial this month is the Global Creative Project tutorial, and it is featuring the Wildflower Birthday Suite. So you will get that tutorial for free. If you aren't in Australia or you're already a demonstrator, you can purchase this tutorial on my website for $22 Australian, and you can find it over on my website that I have just shown on the screen. You'll see a section there with a little tutorial store. So that is how you can purchase those. So I think that is pretty much it. I'm going to flick back to my desk. So today when I was looking through what to feature, I did mention yesterday that I was thinking of doing the Seagulls. So these are just some of the beautiful products in the catalogue. This is the beautiful Seagull set that you can get free with a $100 order, and that's the one I'm going to be showing today. I also made a card today with this set. It's very basic and you'll see it on my blog tonight, but I have featured that stamp set because I wanted to get some ink on it. Now, I have shown quite a few of these stamp sets and products over the week, and I think I'm planning to do one tomorrow with this heart-shaped bundle. And yesterday we featured the Corners in Bloom. And then there's just a little bit about the amazing joining offer in the back. So I want to show you what I am going to, oh, actually before that, this was day one, so you can go back and check out the videos and see how I made this card using the toadstool paper and the sequins, which you can grab for free. I made that one, so you can go back and check that out. And yesterday I made this fun card using the Corners in Bloom, the Bloom Impressions DSP and the sequins, so you can go back and check how I made that one. So when I started day one, I said I wasn't going to do fun folds. Well, who was I kidding? It's not a very hard fun fold, but today I'm going to be doing the angled gatefold card. Now, I mucked this one up. This is the wrong size because it's slightly too large for an envelope, so I'm going to rectify that with the card I'm making. But this uses that beautiful Seagull set, and I'm bringing in this paper that I don't think I've shown on a video yet. I'm not 100% sure, but it's got the cute seagulls, and it's bringing in some dies that are called Friends of the Ocean, I think, or Ocean Friends. That belly band just lifts off and it opens like a gatefold to reveal this inside that says, I love you more than chips. How cute is that? I was tossing up between putting French fries or chips. So I'll show you the stamp set. So this is the one that you can earn for free. And you've got the 3 seagulls, a couple little texture stamps, a packet of chips. How cute is that? But you've got the option of writing French fries or chips. What do you call them? So I think as they're really two different things, I think. So French fries are what I imagine as McDonald's chips or fries, so McDonald's fries, and chips seem larger to me. So I think here in Australia we call them chips more often than French fries, but I've heard people say different things. So yeah, very cute. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to bring in the Friends of the Ocean. I'm pretty sure it's called Friends. Yeah, Friends of the Ocean. Now this paper I have used so much of. It's got some really cute patterns, so I can't really even show you full sheets because that's how much I love this paper. It's beautiful. There's a whole suite of these products in the catalogue, and I have cut some of the papers for today, but I've also used one of the dies. So these are the Ocean Friends dies, and I love this coral, so I wanted to use that. It's got some beautiful dotted texture, like that provides a stitching sort of feel. So I'm going to use that on my card today. And the pattern papers I've chosen are these ones here to use on my card. So I'm going to show you how I've cut those. And I've also used this little one here. I am going to colour in my seagulls, but to save some time, I have fussy cut them ahead of time. So I've got one of each seagull that I'm going to use, but I just fussy cut them ahead because, you know, getting in those little feet sections can be a bit painful. And then I've cut the coral out of Summer Splash. I also use one of the Stylish Shapes dies. You can see it's got some stitch detail on there. And that is the 3rd largest Stylish Shape circle. So that's what I prepped ahead of time. But anyway, we'll get started. I have got to cut some bits with you because I haven't done all of it ahead of time. I've also used the twisted gold thread. I think I might have popped it away. I was tossing up between linen thread, all this stuff. Look how much, this is my 3rd roll. Like, this stuff is gorgeous. It is an online exclusive, but you can still purchase it. And then for decoration, I've used these stunning dots. They're quite thick, but they're so beautiful. They are the Sunny Day iridescent dots. So let's get started. I'm not going to quote the imperial measurements, but I do have them on the PDF because it's slightly different, and you will need to follow that if you're using imperial. So I'm just going to do metric today. Now you can use all the same pattern if you want, and you can have this either way. So I've used 4 different patterns for mine just because I love the patterns so much. I thought I may as well get them all on there. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And this is a full A4 sheet of Summer Splash cardstock. Now, I want to cut it down. I was trying to jimmy up the measurements. I could not find a metric version of this card. There probably is one around, but I couldn't find it, so I made up the measurements myself. So hopefully we can get them right. So let's see. I'm going to cut it to 28.5 centimeters just because I wanted, our full sheet of A4 is 29.7, and it's just a bit of a weird measurement to work with when you're doing things like fun folds. So I'm going to cut that down to 28.5 in length, and then I'm going to turn it so the short edge is up on the trimmer, and I want to cut that to the size of a normal card. So I'm going to cut it to 14.8. So I should have a piece now that's 14.8 by 28.5. Now what I want to do now is score it at 9 centimeters from each end, okay? So I want to go to 9 centimeters. Make sure you're using the scoring blade, and then you can flip the whole piece and score again at 9 centimeters. If you want to move it right along, you would need to score it at 19. So you could score it at 9 centimeters and then move it along to 19.5 if you find that easier, okay? Now we're going to do a little bit of measuring. So just so you can see where those folds are, they don't fold all the way to the score line. They're a bit smaller, okay? Now we'll do the reinforcing of the score in just a moment, because what we want to do is add some markings. Now I found this easiest with a pencil, but what I want to do is mark down here at 3 centimeters. Now the measurement is different for Imperial, so be sure to check the PDF, but I want to mark 3 centimeters here and 3 centimeters on this side. So what I found easiest was to put this into my trimmer, and I've lined it up with 3 centimeters on this side, and then I'm going to put my track down, and I'm actually going to use my pencil just to make a little marking. I found that easiest to do. You could do it with a ruler if you want, but now what I'm going to do is line this up in my trimmer, and I want to line this score line that we've got here, so the first score line, up with that mark that we made. So I'm going to pop that in, make sure we're nicely lined up, and then pop my track down and give that a cut. So you should have something that looks like this. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to line that score line up on this side with that mark that we made, and I'm going to give that a cut. So you should have something that's looking a bit like this. Now what we want to do is make a mark. Now I need to make sure that I'm doing this correctly, because let's just say this went funny a couple of times. So I want to make a mark now 3 centimeters in this way, because I'm going to go down like this, okay? So I want to make this, I might actually flip it this way when I do this. I'm going to line that up at 3 centimeters, and I'm going to make a mark in here now, because what I'm going to do is cut this like that, okay? So I'm going to go from this top cut here down there. So let's line that up. Now this is the first time I've made a card like this today, and I really have not practiced it, so let's hope we get all the well, it's only a couple cuts, but let's hope we get it all right, because I'm totally winging it with you. So you should have something that looks like that now, and then we need to do the other side. So what we want to do is mark 3 centimeters along this side now. So let's line that up again. I might do it down the bottom because it's easier. You probably can't see, but I'm making a mark at 3. So you can have a mark down here like that. And then I want to cut from the top, this corner here, down to that mark. So bring that in and cut like that. Now what you should have is something like this. So we fold over like that. Pretty cool, eh? Okay, so now let's move these scraps. I'm just going to discard them. I'm going to keep the trimmer there for a moment because we're going to need it. And I'm just going to reinforce those score lines. Now you may have a couple of pencil marks. I'm just going to use my eraser just to remove those pencil marks. They're not that obvious, you don't have to. Okay, so now we want to do our patterned paper. So what I have done is I've got my 4 pattern papers and I've cut them down. What they're cut to is 8.8 centimeters by 14.6, and that's given me a 0.2 centimeter border. So what I'm going to do for this one is I want to cut them on an angle again. So this one you can see I will need to cut down here and I'll need to cut down this way. So I'm going to do the same theory here. I want to make a 3 centimeter mark along here. So I'm going to put it in at 3. Just give that a mark there and then line that up with the corner here and that mark. Give that a chop. That's going to give us that angle there, okay? Then we want to make a chop from here down to our 3 centimeter mark here. So we want to add 3 centimeters along here. We need to make a mark. So I want to line that up with our 3 centimeters, which I'm just going to, sometimes I find it easier to use the bottom of the trimmer. So I know that it's not quite in frame. So I've got to mark up my 3 centimeter. I'm going to mark up there, hold that in place and give that a chop. So you should have something that looks like that. And then that should fit nicely with a tiny border onto that piece there. Okay, then we want to do our next bit. So our next bit's going to be our orange piece. This time we want to mark 3 centimeters down this side. So we want a 3 centimeter mark down there. So I'm just going to line that up at 3, make my mark, and then do the same thing. So line that up, cut. Then we want a 3 centimeter mark along here. So let's line that up at 3. And then do the same. You might need to rub out these pencil marks. So then we've got this piece here. So then let's do the same with these 2 pieces. You just need to check that you're getting your angles right. So this one, I want my 3 centimeter mark here. And then I'm going to cut. So there's just a little bit of cutting and scoring, and then you get this really cool gatefold. Now we've got 3 centimeters along here, so let's flip that, pop that 3. Same deal. This fold's a great way to use designer series paper as well, especially patterns like this that are just gorgeous. Okay, fold this out. Need our 3 along here. And we're going to do it this way. Then we need, oops, no, hold on, which way are we going here? We need a 3 mark there, so. Okay, the last one to line up. And then you can now go in and make sure that you are rubbing out any pencil marks that you can see. So I'm just going to give a couple of those a quick go over with my eraser. This one goes this side, so let's just look and see if there's any marks that need to be erased. Okay, so now we can actually start adhering these pieces down. So I'm going to bring in my liquid glue. Just to stick these ones down. So I'm going to do the inside first since I've got my card open. Make sure that's nicely stuck. And then this one, which for some reason seems to be a bit big. I might not have actually chopped this layout 100% correct. So what I'm going to do is just trim that. That one might be a slightly to the edge. Not not sure if I cut that one too big to begin with. Let's just check these. So you need to make sure that they're 14.6, not 14.8. So these ones seem fine. So I think I just chopped that 1.2 out, but that's okay. Summer Splash is definitely, to be honest, I actually think it's overtaking Coastal Cabana for me. I've been using it a load. I'm already nervous about it being retired. So this is an in colour, Summer Splash, so they only last for 2 years, the in colours. And I feel like somewhere along the line, it's always an in colour that ends up being my favourite. And it doesn't stay around, so I try and use them a lot while I have them. Okay, so that's our layers. How cute is that? Okay, so let's bring in, we will need a belly band. What I'm going to do is go, this piece here should have from your leftover piece that you cut. So what I'm going to do is cut that down now to 4.5. So I want it to be not quite as wide. Now, something I like to do, and I don't often have my glass mat out when I do filming because it gets very glary, is what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the grid on this. A lot of people asked yesterday what this was. This is an old Stamparatus foam mat, and I like it because I can wipe it. It's not too big in my camera view. Now, the reason I'm using it though is because I've got the grid to make sure this is straight and my card's straight. And what I'm going to do is use my pencil to make a mark either side of that, and then I'm going to make a score line. So you could just fold the belly band over, but I quite like to make a deep score line. Now I've got those pencil marks as guides, but I'm going to come a little to the right of the score line so that I have a nice roomy belly band. You don't want it too roomy, but you also don't want it too tight. So I've got a couple of score lines there now. And I am going to actually trim this a little bit because I don't want it quite as big. So I'm going to trim just with scissors. It doesn't matter too much. And I'm going to adhere that together because I roughly want that join to be in the middle. So let's reinforce those scores. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue now, just to this section here to join that belly band together. Okay, now I've got a piece of the Ocean Friends Designer Series paper and I've cut it to 4.3 and it's cut probably a little bit short actually. It's hard to do measurements for these belly bands because it depends on your belly band as to how big it needs to be and how much leeway you give for the belly band. So I'm just going to cut another one because it's not quite even. So I'm going to cut it to 4.3. And then let's measure the width of that belly band. So it's coming up at about 10.2. So let's do it at 10 and see what we've got. Still too short, that's weird. Did I measure that wrong? Yes. Don't know where I got 10.2 from. Don't listen to my mathematics, honestly. Okay, hold on. Let's just grab another piece here and start that again. So we want 4.3 by, what did we say this was? It's almost 11. So if I go 10.5, I'm thinking that's going to be a bit better. Yes, 10.5. So somewhere roughly around 4.3 by 10.5, but you may have to adjust a little bit depending on how big your belly band is, okay? So let's just adhere this down. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. And then stick this over the top. You could also leave this pattern paper off if you just want the Summer Splash belly band. It's up to you. Okay, give that a stick. And then this should fit nicely over the card. So I've given it a little bit of room so that it can slide over the top there and come down, so it fits nicely on there. Okay, now let's do our next piece. So to go onto the belly band, I have got the pieces I showed at the start. So I've got my coral and my stylish shapes circle. So with the stylish shape circle, I'm going to grab a little bit of Summer Splash ink and a blending brush. I'm just going to take my small blending brush. I'm going to add a little bit of Summer Splash and then come around my edge. And then with my coral, this is cut from Summer Splash, but I wanted to add a little bit more ink to it. So I'm actually going over the ends of my coral. This would also look cute in the melon mambo or the peach pie, pumpkin pie sort of colours. But I'm just going to stick with my favourite. Now I think what I want to do is add a little bit of Summer Splash marker. So it's only going to add it a very subtle look, but I just want to add a little bit there. Okay, so I may need to just give that a wipe off, and that's why I love having a surface that I can easily wipe down. Let's give that a wipe. Okay, so then this is going to go onto my background. I'm going to stick that underneath there. So I might add a little bit of glue. I'm not going to add glue to the whole piece because it's going to overhang and you don't want to glue it down to the card. So I'm just adding enough that will stick this down to the belly band on that bottom piece, knowing that this circle is going to go over the top. So that will be enough. And this is going to go over the top with some Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's add some of these onto the card. And this is going to sit in that middle piece. Okay, so let's put together our seagulls. So I have stamped one of each seagull, and I'm going to bring in just a couple colours. I'm going to go with some Daffodil Delight blends, some Pumpkin Pie blends, and I think I might go with just a little bit of grey granite. So let's start off by doing the beak. So I'm just going to start with some light Daffodil Delight. I'm going to do the beaks. I will need to do the French fries as well, so I might do the French fries. I'm not sure what colour I did them on this one, but I think I might just do, I'll show in just a sec, because I want those to be a little bit different to the beak. So what I'm going to do is actually just go with solid dark Daffodil Delight, so they're a little bit different to the beak. Then I'm going to come in and add a little bit of dark daffodil there, and I'll just come back in with my light juggling blends, and just blend out any harsh line there. Okay, so that's my beaks done. Now let's come in and do the feet. So I've got light pumpkin pie here. Just going to do all of those little bird feet. And then do a little bit of my dark just up the top, which I don't think I'm even going to blend it out. Okay. And now I want to come in with my light grey granite, and I'm going to add a base of light grey granite to my wing. I'm going to leave that middle section. I'm not going to bother colouring that. I'm going to do it to all of them. So You might be, oh, the one with the chips is going to go to the inside of the card, which this stamp set does come with an adorable set of little tiny French fry packets. You could add that in if you want to. What colour is a Macca's French fry? I think it's red, isn't it? Pretty sure it is. Red or yellow or something. You could do that, or you can make your own colours. Okay, so then let's colour these in. Now, I can't remember if I did a little bit behind. I think I did, so let's just colour this bit too. Now, come in with my dark grey granite. I'm just going to add a little bit of that definition to the wings. So I'm just going to make it look a little bit more 3D by adding in some extra colour. Sorry, it's probably getting my hands in the way because I have fussy cut them. They're harder to hold on to, so it's handy for time and doing videos like this, but it's not as easy to capture on video when you're holding such a little piece. So I'm just blending out where that line is, blending those colours together. Okay, so I think it's pretty good. If you feel like you need to come back in with the dark again, you could definitely do that. So I'm just adding a little bit more dark back in, because sometimes when you go to blend it out, you do lose a bit of the shadowing. So I'm just coming in and adding a little bit of it back. Okay, so that was the easy blending. Now let's quickly do our sentiment. So I'm going to heat emboss our sentiment on some black. So I've got the Hey Friend, which I'm going to just do my favourite, which is white on black cardstock, which is going to work well with my gold embossing powder. Let's grab the white. I think I actually placed a Stampin' Up order last night, and I'm pretty sure I had to order more embossing powder, and I'm pretty sure I did because I was half asleep doing an order, which I really shouldn't do that. It's just that I leave my Stampin' Up orders that I do make until I go to bed, so I do them at bedtime, which is really dangerous. So I don't know if any of you are fellow bed shoppers, like as in you do your online shopping while you're in bed, but it can be a dangerous hobby because quite often I have ordered something that I have realized only in the morning what I have actually ordered. Okay, so let's give this a heat. I love this. It's just Hey Friend, and it's a really cool modern font. Okay, so that's got that done, and I'm just going to tip my embossing powder back into my jar, and then we can give this little sentiment a quick trim. So I'm just going to trim it down a little bit. Make it a bit easier to work with. Good-o. Okay, so now let's do our next bits. So I want to stick my Seagulls on. I'm going to leave the one with the French fries for the inside, but I want to stick this little guy up on dimensionals, but this one's going to be flat. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to this one, making sure I pop it on his little feet. And then I'm going to stick this one over here, and I'm going to stick this one up on some dimensionals. So grab my dimensionals. I'm not going to be able to add the dimensionals to his feet, so they're going to kind of have to hang a little bit. So let's stick. I had a freak out then. I was thinking, did I take the dinner I was cooking off the stove? But yes, I did. I'm sure many of you can relate when you have been cooking and you think, oh, did I actually turn that off or take it off the stove? And I'm home alone, so can't even have anyone check. Okay, so I've got my little sentiment, and I'm going to put some dimensionals on this one in a minute because I'm going to tie my bow first. I'm going to take my twisted gold thread, just going to run my thumb and forefinger through that just to straighten it out a little bit, and then I'm going to tie a double bow, which leaves me, look how much of my roll I have left. I think I should have done some sleep shopping for that. I wonder if I can order $100 worth and just get another Sale-a-Bration product. Do I need talking into it? Okay, so I've tied my double bow, and that's going to go underneath this sentiment. So I actually want to stick that down with a glue dot and then pop my sentiment over the top. So I'm just going to grab in my glue dot. I'm just going to be lazy and use my scissors and stick that just underneath to hold that in place, and then I'll trim my tails after. So I'm going to stick my sentiment over the top, and I'm going to use just a few of the edge of my stamping dimensionals, which the edges of the stamping dimensionals are fantastic for things like this because you can do little sentiment strips with them. So I just want to stick that right over the top there, and then I'm going to trim down the tails on my thread. Now let's add in a little bit of Wink of Stella. So I'm just going to grab my Wink, give that a bit of a spritz to add some glitter, and then to embellish I'm going to add some of these sunny, they're called sunny? Yeah, sunny day iridescent dots. Now to put those on, I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm just going to add a couple. So I'm going to add, I'm not sure what colours these are. They look like Pumpkin Pie, Summer Splash and Melon Mambo to me, but I can't be 100% sure. I'm not 100% on that. So I'm going to add one of the big pink ones. These actually coordinate with the paper so that they're from the same suite. Now I'm adding a smaller one of the pink, and then I'm going to grab a smaller one of the orange. I'm going to kind of add that in over there. So that is the front of the card. So I kept it simple-ish for me. Let's make a quick inside. So for the inside, I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to blend, I've just still got what's left over my blending brush with some Summer Splash because I had quite a bit left over on there anyway. Let's bring that Summer Splash in. And I'm going to take the tiny stamp that has the seashells. So there's a tiny little stamp in here that has seashells. I'm just going to stamp that 3 times down the bottom, just for a little bit of texture. And then let's take our Summer Splash Stampin' Wrap marker. I'm going to grab my bone folder and just spritz a little bit of that on there. You tell I've been crafting, I've got inky fingers. Now let's take that leftover seagull. That's going to sit in here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to my seagull and sit him in there. And then I also have some of the little flying birds. They are adorable. I'm going to stamp those in Melon Mambo. And I'm going to stamp them just a little bit down from the top left because you will be able to see like a V of this bit. So you may see them a little bit, but not quite as much. Now I've got the sentiments I Love You More Than Ships. So they're two separate stamps, but I mounted them on the block together. So I've got them there. I'm going to stamp that in some Memento Black, which my stamp pad is hiding. There we go. So I'm just going to gently ink that up, and I want to stamp it just above my seagull. So I've got I Love You More Than Ships. Now I want to spritz a little bit of my Wink Stella for some sparkle. I'm going to shut my ink pad because I can see that just ending in tears. And then on the original, I did grab my Wink Stella and just lightly brush some on my coral, but you don't have to do that. It's just I love to add sparkle. So, and this is clean sparkle. I mean, I'm adding sparkle without getting glitter all over my desk. Okay, then let's take this belly band off, open up our card, and then we can stick this inside. Look at that, golden retriever hair. Anyone that receives a card from me gets extra golden glitter. Let's stick this inside. And they open with I Love You More Than Ships. And you can decide whether to have that piece behind or that piece in front. I think I like the starfish as the secondary one because it's a little bit more busy. So then we open our belly band back up and we can pop that back onto the card. So there you have it. That was a somewhat easy angled gatefold. Angled gatefold. So it's a double gatefold, angled double gatefold card. So yeah, really, really fun to make and not too difficult. There's just a few measurements and a few cuts and you get one of those. So I hope you enjoyed a look at something using the Friendly Seagulls. This is only available till midnight Friday to earn for free, and then it will be gone. So if you didn't catch the start, these are the other two cards I have made in the last 2 days. So now we're up to number 3, and I will be live again tomorrow to share. I'll probably be using the heart bundle. So if you have, let's have a look. If you have this one here, the heart-shaped bundle, I'm going to make something with that tomorrow to show you how I've used that. And then who knows, I haven't decided what I'll be doing for Friday because Friday is the last day of Sale-a-Bration. If you didn't catch the start, we're just talking about the Sale-a-Bration products. That is the joining offer. If you don't want to miss out on an amazing offer to get lots of freebies, check it out. And you can hit the join my Stamping Up team in the video description and learn more. You can also find a tab on joining and all the FAQs and everything about it if you head to my website there. I do have a tab that explains everything, all the frequently asked questions that I get about joining and what you need to do if you join and what you don't need to do. They're all on my website. And then other than that, there is a little peek at some of the Sale-a-Bration products that have been added, but there are loads. You can go to my website once again and actually click the PDF for the Sale-a-Bration brochure and flick through it. And don't forget to use my host code to get this tutorial for free as well as a gift from me. So that's a look at the host code. Don't forget to use that when you're shopping. I'll just pop it up on the screen so you can see. Other than that, I will see you back here tomorrow if you want to join. Feel free to like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. I do go live every Saturday and I love to have you all here. It's so nice to have you all supporting my little hobby business. I love hanging out with you all. So thanks for watching today, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye.